No sound. Is the sound back? Is the sound on now? B. I've been testing things out with my mic, you know? I've been altering some of the settings. Obviously, it hasn't been on, but we should be back. We should be rolling now. So I guess I'll just start off fresh because I just talked for maybe a minute or two and you guys got absolutely nothing. So we'll start fresh. Basically, it's been an eventful week already. It's Tuesday, and it feels like this week's been going on for a while. It feels like we're on Thursday or Friday, but it's literally the second day into the week. We were going into it very bullish. Everyone had high hopes. And then today we've come back down. And there's a few reasons why we've come down today. I'm going to discuss them in today's live stream. Also, you know, it's not over yet. Like people currently are freaking out. We've literally just come down to 111, back to where we were yesterday. You know, it's funny when people expect us to move, people start getting a bit impatient, and then you have one day that's red, all of a sudden the sentiment goes completely pear-shaped. But we're going to discuss the reasons why we have dumped today, and we're going to discuss the probability of a 50 basis point rate cut in September. That is the big topic. That's the topic that everyone's talking about. And it's crazy how things completely change. If you would have asked people perhaps a couple of months ago, how many rate cuts would we get this year? Many people would have told you none. And now it looks like we're going to be getting 3 rate cuts. All 3 times the Fed meets, we are expecting to get rate cuts. That's what we're expecting now. That is the base case. At one point, that was the bullish scenario. Now it's the base case. Okay? And there's a lot of talks that the Fed might actually cut by 50 basis points. In fact, the probability has been going up. The probability has been going up for a 50 basis point rate cut. It currently stands around 16% implied probability. It was basically 1% not that long ago. Now it's 16%. And the markets haven't priced in whatsoever the chance of a 50 basis point cut. They have not priced that in at all. So if we were to get a 50 basis point cut September 17th, it would shock the markets. Now, some people would say it would spook the markets in a negative way. Others would say it would be a very good bullish catalyst and it would add fuel to the fire, essentially. So we're going to discuss all of that. Smash the likes on the stream. Subscribe if you're new as well. I'll get into some of your comments also. But we've got an awful lot to talk about in terms of the macro and in terms of specific crypto charts as well. We're going to look at dominance. We're going to look at Bitcoin and a few other charts, which are very, very close to breaking out. And I told you guys on the video today that SAY looked like it was going to break out. I still haven't entered that SAY long position yet, by the way. A lot of people have been asking me, Archie, have you entered the long yet? Have you entered the long yet? I have not entered the long on SAY yet. I'm waiting for more confirmation, ideally a weekly close, because I've seen fake outs from the market makers way too much this bull run. So I'm extra safe when it comes to entering trades because I know they like to play games. I know they like to push it up above resistance and then bring it straight back down the next day. So if you are entering longs, make sure you got a tight stop loss. Otherwise, wait for confirmation. The only long position I remain in is my Bitcoin position. Though last night, me and the VIP members, we were trading MYX token. Long, short, long, short, long, short. Basically scalping it. Very degen trading, but it was very effective because it had high volatility and it was making moves of about 50% every 20 minutes. That's how volatile this MYX coin was. And if you don't know what MYX is, it is a DEX, kind of like Hyperliquid, that just came out of nowhere. It's done 1,397% ROI just in the last week alone. And it's now ranked 48th out of all the cryptos. It wasn't even in the top 200 not that long ago. So this is one to watch, and it's also a great one to trade if you know what you're doing. And I was on a call with the VIP members last night for a very long period of time, probably about 5 hours. And predominantly, we were trading this coin. And it was very, very profitable endeavor for most of us. I saw people made $6,000 in a couple minutes. It was crazy. The volatility was insane. But anyway, we're not going to dwell on that. We had an interesting piece of data come in today. The job growth was revised down by 911,000 jobs. So people were saying this might have been revised down by 200,000. No one expected it to be revised down by almost 1 million jobs through March. So this basically shows that the labor market is way weaker than anyone can possibly fathom. And I've been talking about the labor market on this channel for many, many months. I've been telling you guys, it's all a con. Powell's telling you the labor market is strong. It is not strong. It hasn't been strong for a while. The labor market is weak. And not only was it weak, it was also on the edge of the cliff. And now we're seeing it fall off that cliff. Unemployment is now officially in an uptrend in the States. Or it's in a bear market. The labor market is in a bear market. It's in a recession. Depends how you want to define it. But essentially, what happens with the labor market, for those who don't know, is once it starts weakening, it dies, essentially. So it's not this slow death. It's not like this 10-year illness. No, it happens like the click of a finger. You see the labor market start weakening. Before you know it, it's in full-scale disaster territory. So the Fed need to cut. They need to cut fast, and they need to cut big. Otherwise, what's going on in the labor market is gonna be seen in other industries, okay, in other sectors. So, like I said, the current scenario is 3 cuts. That has a 43% probability. The Fed meet in September 17th. They meet in October, and they meet in December. So they meet 3 times this year. The most likely scenario is they cut in all 3 meetings. But what's now more of a question that people are asking is, will they cut 50 basis points in September? The question now is not, will they cut in September? They will cut in September. The question is, will they cut 50 basis points? And if they do, what will that mean for the markets? And we've had interesting conversations about this in the VIP group for weeks now. Some guys say it's going to spook the markets if they do that. Some people say it's going to be the most bullish day of the whole year. I tend to side more in the bullish camp. If they cut 50 basis points, for me, that is bullish. But what it means as well is the pump is going to be even quicker, and it's going to be over before you know it if they cut 50 basis points. It just means more and more fuel is added to the fire, and we're going to rally out of control, essentially. All the oscillators are going to be overbought, and you'll have a quick bull run, a quick altcoin season. So it's a question of, are you going to have a quick altcoin season? Potentially it will be over in October. Or are you going to have more of a prolonged altcoin season if they cut 25 basis points? That's really the question. But Bitcoin dominance right now is literally on the edge of a cliff. I mean, a lot of people right now, they're not really looking at dominance because it seemed a little bit stale, a little bit boring now for a few days. Literally for a couple of weeks now, it's been very boring. But it's on the edge of a cliff, guys. Dominance is literally on its support. It's on its last legs. Now, yes, it could find some support here and move up to 60%. That's very possible. That's the scenario I've been talking about as my base case. But this whole idea that Benjamin Cowan is spewing of dominance is going to show who's king. We're going to go way up. Ethereum's going to crash in September. I don't know if I see it. I don't know if I see it. And everyone's entitled to their opinions. And everyone's also entitled to criticize other people's opinions. And right now, to me, yes, we've had a bit of a dump, but there's going to be more and more talk about rate cuts. And if we get a 50 basis point cut, I think it would be insane because markets have not priced that in one bit. Markets have fully priced in 25 basis points. They haven't even half priced in 50 basis points. They haven't even half priced that in. So I want to talk a little bit about Bitcoin and why it actually dumped today. So there's a few reasons. There's a few reasons why we dumped. First of all, the most obvious one was we were coming into price resistance. Quite often when you find resistance, you reject. It's that simple. You don't always need an explanation for it, but quite often, if you're coming into resistance, particularly with high RSIs, you reject. Bitcoin came into critical resistance that I said in today's video we need to break above. If we don't break above this, we're probably coming significantly down. Maybe somewhere between, for me, 102K to 109K will be the floor on this dump, most likely, because of a rejection of critical resistance. That's the third or fourth time now we've rejected at this level. And you can see if we zoom in a little bit closer how perfect of a rejection it was. So for those of you out there who don't believe in TA, for those of you listening to stupid influencers who say that TA is nonsense, look at that freaking chart. That's the most obvious evidence that TA is legit I've ever seen. 3 times we came into contact with this exact level, 3 times we've rejected. So this is a key level for Bitcoin, and we failed to get above it again. Now, what are some other reasons why we might have dumped here? Well, we had news come in. We had a few little bits of news all come in at once, which wasn't the best. Okay, we had the jobs market revision, which obviously wasn't great. That kind of shook the markets a little bit. We also had news come in surrounding the war in the Middle East. Israel they struck Doha. I think they were targeting their enemies in Doha, whatever. And, that came in as well, which, Middle Eastern conflict has been known to cause bits of volatility in the markets. We remember when the whole Iran-Israel thing flared up, we had a big dump. So we just had a few things all come in at once, and we were approaching resistance. That is why we dumped, to me. However, with all of that said, it's not over this week, guys. We've got way more things. We've got bigger things coming. We've got PPI tomorrow, and we've got CPI on Thursday. This is going to be the thing that determines the next major swing. We've been compressing on basically all the charts. All the charts have been compressing, and they're all waiting for a major move. It's very, very evident now. Okay? You can even see it with Bitcoin. Like, it's just waiting for a move here. It's waiting. It's compressing. You can see the compression in the chart just by looking at it. You don't even need to draw lines. You can see we are compressing here, and a major move is upon us. Now, there's 2 potential dates that could break us out. It's when CPI comes in on Thursday. That's the earliest date I expect a breakout move. The next date would be September 17th. So maybe the compression could go on until September 17th. That's possible. But most likely, I think we'll get some form of a breakout move by Thursday because of the CPI coming in. If the CPI comes in weak, the odds of a 50 basis point cut could potentially shoot up to like 50%. We could be going into the September cut, September 17th, with potentially 50-50 odds of 50 basis points or 25 basis points. Right now, it is not like that at all. Right now, everyone expects 25 basis points. But if inflation comes in weak, it's going to be absolutely insane. And let's just take a quick look at Trueflation, actually. Because obviously, it's not the most accurate, and obviously CPI and PPI are done very differently. But let's just have a little look and see what's been happening with inflation, because there was scares that inflation was ticking up, and we were finally seeing the effects of the tariffs come into play with the lagging effect. If we look at it here, obviously it's September now, so we're going to get the inflation report for August. Looking at this, it seems like August's inflation seems like we've started kind of going down a bit. Obviously, we don't get we don't get the last 30 days unless we sign in and create an account. So maybe I need to create an account. But it looks like inflation kind of came down a bit for August. So maybe we do get a weak inflation report. Maybe inflation comes in low, and low inflation will trigger the Fed to cut even more. They're already going to cut. But if inflation comes in weak, there is no reason why they shouldn't cut 50 basis points. The only reason they're holding off a 50 basis point cut is because of the fears that inflation could start ticking back up because of the uncertainty around the tariffs. And then if you go and cut 50 basis points, you're going to drive more spending and essentially you'll have higher inflation as a result. But the Fed are already moving away now from that 2% target. We heard that in the Jackson Hole speech. So I think right now, this 15% probability that Polymarket is giving for a 50 basis point cut is actually on the low end. I'm putting it a little bit higher. I'm not saying it's the base case for me. The base case is still a 25 basis point cut. But instead of it being 80% to 15%, for me, it's more like 70% to 30%. And that is not nothing on the side of 50 basis points. Anyway, we'll get into some more charts, and then I will get into your questions. So please get your questions in the chat. See, there's a lot of you guys in the chat. I do appreciate each and every one of you being here today. I thought I'd be doing this live stream with the market sending it, to be quite honest with you, but I did mention that resistance. I did say that that would be critical resistance. I mentioned it on today's live stream. Would I long Bitcoin here? No, it's not. It's not really at a key level, you know. Personally, when I long stuff, I prefer breakout longs compared to trying to time the bottom. So these remain my top altcoins right now. I'm gonna, yeah, so I'm gonna actually flip that order. So I will go Morpho. Man, could I spell? So I'll go Morpho and then I'll go Virtuals. Okay, so they would be my top altcoins. That's the order I'm looking at right now. Did anyone catch that pump on Millie, by the way? That was crazy. I told you guys Millie was going to break out. I said Millie's compressing. It's about to make a major move to the upside. That's what I told you guys. I told people in my free Telegram. I told people on X. I dropped a buy alert in my VIP group. I mean, I couldn't have made it more clear that Millie was going to break out. I told you here. I said Millie's going to break out. You're going to see a God candle. What do you know? You see a God candle. So make sure you're in my free Telegram group. The link to that is down below. I give you free updates. Obviously, nowhere near as in depth as the VIP group, but I give little updates here and there. Yeah, 50 basis points for me would mark a top within a week or two of that, probably. It would be so bullish that all markets would go risk on and we would pump so quick that we'd get overbought very soon, very soon after. So that's one of the things. It's a double-edged sword. It probably means you have a quicker rally and a closer, an earlier top. But it also means this thing could potentially be all done and dusted and people can relax a little bit, right? I think some people want the cycle to end in September, October, because it means that they can finally take a little bit of a break. For me, I don't care. I'm a workaholic. I do not care when the cycle tops out. But I know some people, crypto is a little bit stressful for them. For me, I love the stress, to be honest with you. If it wasn't stressful, then it would just be boring. Yeah, I kind of think they need to cut 50 basis points. When I look at Millie, it's already pumped. Yeah, but it's a $4 million market cap. I mean, it's tiny. It's 4 mil, and you're buying just after a breakout. I mean, it's tiny, man. 4 million market cap. You know, you can use that argument for anything. At some point, everything would have just pumped. People probably said when Ethereum was at $100, oh, it's pumped. It's more about zooming out on the chart, you know? Do I think Millie needs more listings to do a 10 to 100x, or is it possible to do that with just MXC? It will get more listings as it grows. So if Millie did a 5x, multiple other exchanges would list it anyway, just based off the fact that it got bigger. But I think they will get more listings. I'm pretty sure they'll get more listings, but we'll have to wait and see. Quite often with meme coins, it depends on the market cap you get to. So I've spoke to a few teams before, from meme coins, people who I know in my network, and they've told me that a lot of it is based off market cap targets. If you hit 10 mil, we'll list you, but if you don't hit 10 mil, we can't list you. A lot of it's based off that. Is the market clearing out leverage on both sides before making a major move? I think so. We're going to have a major move upon us very soon. People think we're going into a prolonged period of consolidation. I do not think that. We cannot go into a prolonged period of consolidation with such volatile catalysts in front of us. You go into consolidation when there's nothing really on. You know, when the Fed's on pause, maybe you go in consolidation. But we've got a major event, literally, what is it, 8 days away now? Major event. And we've got CPI and PPI both coming in the next couple of days. There's a major move coming. I believe it'll be to the upside. But, you know, could go either way. I think it will be to the upside, though. All right. $2 donation by Eric Wallen. I think AVNT might be the next MYX. Why do you think that? What brings you to that conclusion? Avantis, 50 mil market cap, right? Is it a perp Stex as well? There's a few of these now, right? Global markets, limitless leverage. Trade Forex, crypto, metals. Wow. How did I not even know about this? I think I've heard of it, but I didn't even really know about this coin. It's relatively new. It just came out today, actually. It's interesting. So you can buy non-crypto related assets through this as well. Interesting. Yeah, I'll take a look at it in more depth, man. Thanks to the call on it, I guess. Do I think cut would push the market to top in December? It's probably unlikely because rate cuts will have diminishing returns. So if you go into a rate cutting cycle, which is what it seems like we're going to be going into now after 9 months of pause, you know, the first rate cut will be a huge relief. It'll be very bullish, the first rate cut. The second rate cut would probably be quite bullish, but then by the time you get to the third, the fourth, it's probably numb to it now. The market's already priced it in. So I'm of the belief that we'll have probably a very bullish September cut. Like subsequent to the September cut, it'll be bullish. But then October, I'm kind of neutral on. And then December, I'm probably bearish, to be honest with you. But we address it as it comes, right? We've got to take it level by level. Like when I'm calling these dates as potential tops, I'm doing it hypothetically speaking. I'm not saying those are the dates I'm going to sell my whole portfolio. I sell my portfolio based off price levels, not based off dates. So I'm not a date maximalist when it comes to exit strategy. I put price levels above date levels or time frames. Yeah, hit the like button on the way in, or if you've been here the whole stream, then please hit the like as well. It does help out a lot with the channel's growth. Do I think after the cycle top, altcoins will dump 90% like previous cycles? Yeah, most likely. I mean, actually, they usually dump like 99%. They don't dump 90%. They dump 99.9%. Most altcoins. 90% is what the blue chips do. That's like what Ethereum, BNB, that's what those coins do. All the other coins outside the top 5, they'll dump 99% essentially. Even Solana, right? Dumped 97, was it? 97, 98% Solana dumped. And Solana was a blue chip last bull run. So imagine what coins like Say, Casper, Tau, coins I'm bullish on. Imagine how much they'll dump in the bear market. You could have a portfolio of $1 million at the bull run top and ride it all the way down to 20 grand. That's seriously what can happen. And I've seen it happen to multiple people last bull run. I was selling and they kept on buying. I was trying to tell people, look at the RSI. Look at the was it the power, the pi cycle, power law, one of these indicators I was looking at, and it was topping out. But people are blind sometimes in the green. They just ignore the signs and they just keep on buying. But I'm waiting for this big drawdown on dominance before I start really taking profits. I'm waiting for that, and I'm also waiting for total 3 to hit some of my targets. I've got some targets on total 3, which have not been hit yet. Total 3 still hasn't made a new high, like a significant new high this bull run. Can I have a look at USDUC? Yep. But let's take a look at total 3 first. USDUC was a great call, by the way, by me. Another great call to add to the list, man. Been absolutely killing it lately. I don't get enough credit for some of my calls. In a sideways market when no one's making money, really. I mean, influencers are rugging people. Influencers are rugging people. Coins like Blaze just go straight to zero. Most influencers aren't rugging people. Most influencers are just they haven't really got much alpha. They haven't really got great calls. So you're just watching them. One coin might do well, the other does bad, the other does bad, the other does bad. With me, it's not like that. The vast majority turn out to be winners. Yes, every now and then there'll be a bad call. But some of these other YouTubers, man, like they've had like Archetype, right? Or Alpha Alert, whatever he's called now. He's had like 6 or 7 rug pulls. Crazy. I haven't even had more than what I've been in crypto like 6, 7 years, whatever. I probably had 1 rug pull, and it was the first year I was in crypto. And I probably bought over 500 coins. Some of these other YouTubers have given 5, 6, 7 rug calls in the last few weeks and months. Anyway, yeah, so I'm bullish on USDUC. I called it early, and I'm bullish on it. So total 3, clear as day, cup and handle on it. Once we surpass this level with like a clear higher high, we're on to the fib targets then. We're in price discovery. And for me, we'll probably do that around the time the rate cut. We'll get above that, I expect. So I expect us to get above the all-time high. Probably somewhere between September 12th and September 18th. I expect us to do that. I mean, it might not happen, but that's my expectation. Is that we'll put in a new high on total 3. And once we do that, once we put in a definitive high, once we have a weekly close above the prior high, you're getting into those extension levels. A lot of people are targeting 2 trillion as a minimum on total 3. A lot of people are targeting that. So you can see, right? Like, Let's just zoom in to the weekly closes. So yeah, we closed the week just below the previous high. We closed the week just below the previous high, and that's what led to the dump. So if we get a weekly candle close, guys, a weekly candle close above like 1.14 trillion, it's on. It is absolutely on. You're going to be seeing major moves with the altcoins. I've got a big bag of Milli. I was buying it back when you first started talking about it, but I want to buy more. Do you think a 5K position is in a low cap is too risky? It really depends how much your overall portfolio is, my friend. If your portfolio is 100 grand, then 5 grand's not a huge amount of money, right? But if your overall portfolio is 10 grand and you got 5 grand in Milli, then yeah, that's very excessive. So I'd say a meme coin like Milli should probably be somewhere less than 3% of your portfolio. Is Peak compressing? Let's take a look at Peak. Peak has used the same level of support now many, many times. Like, it doesn't look good on the bigger time frames, but if you zoom into like the 4-hour, Peak actually looks really good. Like, you can see here how many times has Peak come down to that same level and got a bounce. Basically, every single time it's hit that level, it's gotten a bounce. But is it compressing? Yeah, I guess. Everything's compressing right now, actually. It's compressing a bit. Everything looks like it's ready to make a breakout move. Really does. Yeah, the fact that guys like Tom Lee are saying 200K this year by Christmas, that to me is a sign that we're getting close to a top. The fact that you're getting, these types of characters pop up and give these astronomical valuations. Yeah, Tom Lee was on CNBC yesterday, was it? Yeah, it was yesterday. He basically said that we go to 200K by the end of the year. And that we'll have a very bullish Q4 just because it's usually bullish. But yeah, USDUC was a great call. It's pulled back a bit, but I took my initial out on the pump. As I always do, guys. Whenever a coin pumps a lot for me, I always take my initial out, especially if it's a meme coin. Especially if it's a meme coin, because meme coins are here today, gone tomorrow type of coins. With a blue chip, you don't need to take your initial out. But with meme coins, you absolutely should. And the thing is, most other YouTubers you guys watch, they don't tell you to do that. You join their VIP group, they'll give you a meme coin buy alert, which they were literally paid to do. They got paid by the dev to do the buy alert in the first place. So you're paying for influencers VIP groups who aren't even giving you legitimate buy alerts. They're giving you sponsored buy alerts, essentially. And they won't tell you to sell. They will not tell you to sell. They don't drop sell alerts, ever. I drop sell alerts all the time. Not all the time, right? But if I'm up 2x, 4x, 5x on a meme, I'll pull my initial out and I'll tell the group the moment I do it. Because that is what a smart investor does. It's called capital preservation. Your gold pumping is indicating a surge in liquidity. Yeah, well, it'll be interesting to monitor the Middle Eastern conflict, see if that escalates a little bit here. I think Trump was saying that Qatar are a sponsor of Hamas and stuff like that. So, yeah, I'm not going to get into the political stuff here, but it seems like it might escalate. So yeah, see here, right? They struck Doha and killed the leaders. So for those who don't know, obviously Qatar is here. This is all Saudi Arabia. And then Qatar is this small little country. Very small by Saudi Arabia. Iran. So interesting stuff. See if anything on Polymarket's talking about geopolitics. Yeah, so they're saying Israel is going to strike Yemen. Yeah, it's just the world's pointing in the direction of more and more conflicts, honestly. There was something going on as well with Venezuela. Like that's just the direction the world's going in. But anyway, I've still got my Bitcoin long position open for those who were asking. Archie is legit. Appreciate that. Do I think Sailor will get liquidated? I don't know. I'm not educated enough on that question to answer. It's very rare I say that. Because when it comes to crypto, I know a lot, okay? I know a lot. I'll be very humble and say that. But when it comes to like the mathematical stuff with Sailor and liquidation and all of this, I don't know. I don't know what level it needs to go down to for him to still be safe. I don't know all the ins and outs about the types of loans he's got. I know zero interest essentially, and he can just issue more stock. It's complex stuff, so I honestly don't know. If anyone has any takes on this, feel free to mention it in the chat. But I honestly don't have a concrete opinion on it. All I know is that it is a potential recipe for disaster. And if something like that did happen to MicroStrategy, you'd probably see a sub $40,000 Bitcoin in the bear market if that did happen. So we should all hope that it doesn't, unless you want to buy the dip, right? If you want to buy the dip, then you'll be fine. I think I must have missed your super chat. Apologies. Let's see. Do I think resistance dog on Ton is a good buy? If Ton does well, then yeah, but Ton Chain's been a bit quiet lately. Ever since that thing happened with the founder, it's been super quiet. So it's coming down by the looks of it to the 786 fib, relatively low RSIs. So it could be a decent buy here, yeah. Could be a decent buy. Sui, say, Arrow, Ondo, Peak, or Beam. Which one will have a serious pump first? It's hard to know which one will pump first, but Say looks like it's on the brink of a major move up. I'm giga bullish on Millie. Words can't even explain. Yeah, me too, man. I'm very bullish on Millie. Very, very bullish. Because I'm so bullish on Say, that's why. Also, I wanted to mention, guys, we have a current major offer on the table for you guys. For those of you who are not signed up to Blofin, this is a special limited edition offer. You can get pretty good bonuses when you deposit money, and this is on until this is limited time only, okay? So it started today and it will end on September 23rd. So all you need to do is use my link. Don't use any other link. Make sure you use my link. Sign up to Blofin and create an account and deposit USDT. Now, depending on the amount you deposit will depend on the reward you get. If you deposit $100, you'll get $30 for free. for free. Like it's crazy, right? You don't get that anywhere else. Free money to trade with, essentially. But if you deposit $7,000, then you'll get $1,000 to trade with for completely free of charge. So you're not paying anything. You just deposit in the money, and then you get your bonus rewards to trade with. So yeah, this is like an exclusive thing for my community because they know how much you guys are into crypto and stuff like that. So they decided to do this for me today. I just got a message from a guy at Blofin. He said, "Yep, we're liking what you're doing with your channel, and we want to give you a special offer here to your community." So there you go. And Blofin is the exchange I currently trade futures with. It's the exchange I was trading with last night. We were doing some trades over in the Discord group, and I was trading, scalping using Blofin. It's a really good exchange. You can see I've got this Bitcoin long still open. Not a great deal of money in it, but I'm up on 25% profit here. It's a solid exchange. You can use it for spot, futures, everything. It's also got trading bots built into it. And by the way, the main reason I'm really pushing people to get familiar with trading is so when the bear market comes around. Because in the bear market, it's stupid to have long-term bags because the market's dumping. The only way to make money in a bear market is through trading, through short-term in and out trades, or by shorting on a macro perspective. So low leverage shorts that you keep open for the duration of the bull run. I made a ton of money last bull run shorting the market. I shorted Terra Luna when the whole Do Kwon thing was happening and it dumped to zero. I shorted the FTT token when FTX went to zero. And I also shorted Bitcoin numerous times last bear market. So I actually made in the bear market a similar amount of money to what I made in the bull market, as crazy as that sounds. In fact, I think it was the day Luna crashed, I made more money than I'd ever made in my life that day. I shorted Luna on the way down and I shorted Bitcoin, and then I longed Luna at the bottom. Don't know if you guys remember, but Luna crashed to zero and then it did like a 40x out of the ashes. So there's a lot of volatility in a bear market, and if you know how to trade, you can make a ton of money. So that's something we are absolutely going to be doing as a channel. I'm not going away in the bear market. I'm staying here. I'm going to be streaming. I'm going to be doing daily videos. I'm not going anywhere. And I'm not going out of the VIP group, that's for sure as well. I'll be in there 24/7 too. Can you go over the rules to get the bonus? I'm curious before joining. Yeah, so this is actually I didn't even realize. This is limited to the first 100 users. So only the first 100 of you will get it. So you probably have to act pretty fast. Because obviously you're competing with everyone else to get there first. Yeah, 0.25 basis points or 25 basis points, right? 0.25% would be more sustainable. I agree. It would be a more stable and sustainable approach. If you're trying to make an argument for an extended bull market into December, it would be the 3 rate cut theory. That would be your ammo to give that argument. But if they cut 50 basis points in September, it's just going to add so much fuel to the fire that we're going to rally really hard and really quick. And it'll probably be over before many people can believe. So those are the rules. Got them all on the screen there. Feel free to screenshot them if you want to read over the rules. But yeah, basically, first 100 people who deposit over $100 are going to get these free trading rewards. And obviously, the more you deposit, the more you get. So 7,000 will give you $1,000 for free. I mean, it's incredible. You know, $1,000, let's say you 10x leverage that, that's $10,000 of trading power. So that $1,000 you get for free could potentially make you a lot of money if you know what you're doing. Entry price for Arrow, please. Sure, let's see. So Arrow came down to the 382 around $1 and used it as support. So there's a very strong amount of support around the psychological level of $1, and it's a fib level as well. But basing it off the daily RSI, it is possible Arrow could dip potentially to 93 cents, or worst case scenario, probably 78 cents. But honestly, this is a great time to DCA into Aerodrome. It's not necessarily a trade entry point for me, but it's a great time to DCA because if you zoom out at this chart, you can see we are still significantly lower than where we were in 2024 in both literally April and in December. So you're buying a DEX on base lower than where it was all the way back in April 2024. All that time ago. What is my top conviction play? It is Sui. Sui has been my highest conviction play for well over a year now, and I called it as low as 76 cents on the channel. The VIPs made a ton of money on that. I think I actually made a couple people $1 million on Sui from my call. One guy told me he made over $1 million from my buy alert on Sui, and multiple people told me they made 6 figures on it. So Sui printed big time for the group. Did like a 7x, I think. But yeah, this is my current pecking order when it comes to altcoins. In fact, I would put Say a bit higher as well now. Let me just get rid of all of that. Let's reshuffle these a little bit. So, this is my current order. This is my current preferred order in terms of conviction. I wanted to reshuffle them a little bit. I mean, look, one day, depending on how I feel when I wake up, depending on the side of the bed that I get out at, some of the orders could change. But just know that, you know, these are very strong altcoins to have in your portfolio. Do I think Miri is dead? Not dead. I just think the whole sector of gaming has had a very tough time. Anyway, guys, we are going to wrap up this live stream here. I really do appreciate all of you tuning in. Please smash the likes on the stream if you've enjoyed or if you've got any little bit of valuable information from the stream. Should I buy Sui now? I mean, you should have bought it when I was talking about it, but I understand not everyone could have done that. So my buy point on Sui would be around $3.36. So yeah, it's a good buy now. But if you want to limit order, that's where I'd go. And potentially, worst case scenario, you could have a double bottom on the golden pocket, but I think it's potentially unlikely here. Yeah, Sui's a super unique L1. I agree. Anyway, we're going to wrap up the stream. Guys, get in the VIP group. And I've got another thing for completely free of charge for you guys. So first of all, sign up to Blofin, use that link, deposit some money, and you'll get some free trading money to use on some trades. First 100 people get it. So let me just put it this way. There's, I think, 400 people watching this stream across YouTube and X combined right now live. A quarter of the people, if a quarter of people sign up, that's it, gone. So it's going to be gone very fast. Also, you should get money anyway if you deposit, but this is like a special bonus, right? For limited time only. Also, I want to give you something else for free. I want to give you the opportunity to speak to someone who knows crypto inside and out and discuss your portfolio, discuss your exit strategy for nothing. There's no catch. No payment at all. Just to help out. It's linked down below. Book a call. That's all you need to do. Go onto my page, which is down below. Click book a call. You can arrange a time that suits you. The call will be on Discord. So all you have to do is follow the steps. It's all there and available when you sign up. But don't waste this time, okay? Some people have been booking calls and not attending. Make sure you attend the call. Otherwise, we will have to put a charge on it. Because if people aren't attending the calls, then my guy's just wasting his time. So make sure you attend the call, you get there on time, and discuss your portfolio with him. He's more than happy to help you. So that is linked down below. That's something else where, there's 400 people watching the stream across YouTube and X. If everyone goes and bucks it, it's going to be bucked up till Christmas. So count yourself lucky that you're getting the opportunity for free, because we might put a charge on it relatively soon. Anyway, I appreciate all of you being here. Smash up the like, share the stream as well with someone who could benefit from it, because we discussed a lot of macro today and I answered a lot of questions. So if you've got anyone who could benefit from this stream, share the link over to them and get them onto the channel, because there's a lot of bad information out there in crypto YouTube. This channel is where the information's at. Have a great rest of your day. I'll be doing a video tomorrow on the market update, and I hope to see you guys over there. Goodbye.